Hola, buenos días o buenas tardes, año 7. Welcome to your last few days of online learning. So this is lesson 1 of week 3, and our new topic for this week is ¿Qué deportes haces? Which means what sports do you do? So let's get started. Please write the title, escribir el título en español, subrayar con una regla. También escribir la fecha, write the date en español, subrayar con una regla también. Whilst you're doing that, I'll just read you our aims for this week. So firstly, we're going to understand vocabulary about sports, and we're going to use the present tense of jugar and hacer with expressions of frequency and preposition. Our second aim for the week is to apply that vocabulary that we learned by writing a paragraph. And then finally, we'll evaluate and set targets on how we can improve further. Empezamos. So your starter task, I would like you to look at the list of sports on the left. You can see them 1 to 10. Match up the English to the Spanish and write both in your books. So you can see I've written there on the right hand side the sports in English. So you're matching them up. Some you'll be able to do by process of elimination. Some you might be familiar with, and a couple you might just have to guess. As always, as an extension, can you say I like swimming and I don't like tennis? That's recalling your knowledge from last term, how to say I like or I don't like. So pause this video and give yourself about 3 or 4 minutes to complete that task. Muy bien, let's see how you got on with that. So, el ciclismo. Now, I'll say it, feel free to stop this video and practice pronunciation after I've said it. El ciclismo, cycling. It looks quite similar, doesn't it? Número 2, el esquí, skiing. Número 3, el tenis, tennis. Número 4, el hockey, hockey. Número 5, el fútbol, football. Número 6, el voleibol, volleyball. Número 7, el atletismo, athletics. Número 8, el baloncesto, basketball. Número 9, la natación, swimming. And número 10, el patinaje, skating. Ice skating, but it can also just mean, if you just see patinaje on its own, it can also mean skating as in like skateboarding or roller skating. Generally, it's thought to be ice skating, or you might need to qualify that sometimes by saying el patinaje sobre hielo, on ice. So give yourself a score of 10. Hopefully you got some of those right. Some might be familiar. We might have used a couple in process of elimination, and you're using your skills as linguists. So the extension task, can you say, I like swimming and I don't like tennis? Me gusta, do you remember that? Me gusta la natación and no me gusta el tenis. Remember the negative always goes before the verb. So no, the negative, no, me gusta, no, I don't like tennis. Okay, that's got your brains warmed up. So what do we have in store for today's class? I'm going to introduce all the new vocabulary on sports. We're going to practice that with a listening and a reading, and then end with a reading. Okay, continuamos. So, ¿qué deportes haces? What sports do you do? So, I'm going to introduce the new sports to you. You can see the little logo icon of the person at a lectern. So this is your opportunity to pronounce really good pronunciation, to practice really good pronunciation. So I will say it, and if you repeat after me. So we've got the first word, juego. And remember, pronunciation for juego is right from the back of the throat, juego. We never say juego. Remember that. Okay, so juego al tenis. Repite, por favor. Juego al fútbol. ¿Tu turno? Muy bien. Juego al baloncesto. Muy bien. And finally, juego al voleibol. ¿Tu turno? Muy bien. So hopefully they're fairly self-explanatory. I play tennis, I play football, I play basketball, and I play volleyball. So you'll notice in our starter task, we had el or la. We had the article plus the sport. When we start talking about the fact that we're playing them, we add together the el. It's almost like we're saying we play at, I play at. So it becomes al. Okay, juego al. Now, this is quite important. So this is when we say I play. I would like to ask you, what do all of these sports have in common? Have 5 seconds to think about that. Hopefully you've spotted that. They all have balls. Okay, so this will become important when we start talking about the verb we use to describe the sport that we do. Okay, so remember, juego, from the verb jugar, is used for sports with balls. Continuamos. Hago, which means I do. Hago. Artes marciales, tu turno. Hago atletismo, tu turno. Hago gimnasia. Hago equitación. And hago natación. Okay, so hopefully they're fairly obvious. Artes marciales, martial arts. Atletismo, athletics. Gimnasia, gymnastics. Equitación, horse riding. And natación, swimming. Remember, our pronunciation is hago. And I'll talk about this briefly now. So top tip from me when it comes to pronunciation. H's, beg your pardon, in Spanish are silent. It's almost as if they're not there. So we would never say hago. Like we never say hey if we're saying there is or there are. Do you remember that word H-A-Y? We always say I. We don't pronounce the H. We don't in hotel, hotel, hamburger, hamburguesa. It's almost pretend it's not there. So hago. The second point is the QU is pronounced as a ke sound. So we've got here ke or eski. Okay, think back to your phonics that you did probably in class 1 or 2 of year 7. We looked at this as a sound. The QU is a ke sound. So with that knowledge, how would you say those two things? Give yourself about 10 seconds to give a go at that. Muy bien. So we've got ¿qué haces? Hago esquí y hago equitación. Okay, continuamos. So, ¿qué deportes haces? I would like you to write the new vocab in your books in English and in Spanish. So I've got here the differentiation between the two. Juego, I play all of the sports with balls, remember? And then hago, I do, and all of the other types of sports. It's not exhaustive, it doesn't cover everything. But if you can't remember them, I've put at the bottom the English of those, so use those as well to write it in English and Spanish. Okay, so pause this video and give yourself 3 to 4 minutes to complete that task. Muy bien, continuamos. So now we're going to practice everything that we've just learned. We're going to do that with a listening first of all. So what I'd like you to do is to listen to the recording and write down the person's name as you hear the sport that they do. So there'll be lots of blurb at the beginning when they give you page numbers, so don't worry about all of that. I'll give you a nod when it's time to start listening. And you will hear something, for example, like, ¿qué deportes haces? What sports do you do? And you'll hear an answer, hago ciclismo. So if you look at all the pictures there, and I hope you can see it on the screen, apologies if it is a bit small, and you can see Juan says in the top column, it says, Juan says hago ciclismo. So you would write for number 1, Juan. Okay, hopefully that's clear. So all you need to do is write in your books 1 to 11. Okay, and you can do that whilst they're doing the blurb over the top. Okay, here we go.
Módulo 5. El tiempo libre. Unidad 3. ¿Qué deportes haces?
Página 82. Ejercicio 1. Escucha y escribe el nombre correcto.
1. ¿Qué deportes haces?
Hago ciclismo.
2.
¿Y tú? ¿Qué deportes haces?
Juego al hockey.
3. ¿Qué deportes haces?
Hago natación.
4.
Juego al voleibol.
5. ¿Y tú? ¿Qué deportes haces?
Hago atletismo.
6,
¿Qué deportes haces?
Hago esquí.
7. ¿Qué deportes haces?
Hago patinaje.
8,
¿Y tú? ¿Qué deportes haces?
Juego al tenis.
9.
Juego al baloncesto.
10,
¿Qué deportes haces?
Hago equitación.
11.
Juego al fútbol.
Muy bien. Hopefully you're used to this now, so you were pausing it and going back. Try not to listen to it more than twice, because it gets used to how we would do it in more exam type conditions or in the classroom, which we'll all be back in together again soon. Continuamos. Oh, so these are the answers as you should have them. So please correct your own work. Ideally, use a different color pen and give yourself a score out of 11. Okay, continuamos. So we've done our listening practice. Now we're going to do a reading and a writing, really. Vamos a practicar. And this is just simply for you to practice if you use hago or juego with the different sports. So there's only 6. This should be quite a quick activity for you to do. So if you write 1 to 6 in your books and write the full sentence using either juego or hago, whichever one you think is correct. There's an extension task. How would you say I don't play volleyball and I don't do athletics? So remember what I said about the negative at the very start of this lesson. So pause this video for about 3 minutes whilst you complete that task. And let's see how you got on with that. So first one is juego al fútbol. Second one is hago natación. Then we have hago artes marciales. Then we have juego al tenis. Then we have hago equitación. And then we have juego al baloncesto. Give yourself a mark out of 6. And for the extension task, how would you say I don't play volleyball and I don't do athletics? No juego al voleibol y no hago atletismo. It's very easy in Spanish. You just put a no before and it changes it all to negative. Easy peasy to remember that one. So finally, our plenary, I would like you to write an answer to the question, ¿Qué deportes haces? So we know that means what sports do you do? Ideally, I would like you to mention 2 things. And if you can, this is an extension to the plenary, add a frequency of expression. So I've given you an example there. Los jueves hago equitación y los fines de semana juego al baloncesto. So that's really expanding your sentence beautifully by saying, on Thursdays, I do horse riding. And at the weekends, I play basketball. Finally, write down what you've learned today. So pause this video and complete that task. Muy bien, excelente year 7. That brings us to the end of this class. Well done for all your hard work. And I look forward to seeing you next lesson. Gracias y hasta luego. Adiós.